Before you ever try to lead people, before you try to lead a team, a family, or even a dream, you must first learn how to lead your own mind, because the mind is the place where everything begins. Every fear, every excuse, every doubt, and every belief is born there. And if your mind is not under your guidance, it will quietly guide you toward fear instead of faith. Most people think life controls them, but the truth is, their thoughts control their life. The moment you understand this, you reclaim your power. I've learned that the biggest battles are never on the outside. They are fought silently within. Your mind will remind you of everything that went wrong, everything you lack, everything you are not yet. It will replay failures and magnify fear. And if you let it run unchecked, it will convince you to shrink, to settle, to stay silent. Leading your mind means learning when to listen to it and when to challenge it. It means refusing to let temporary emotions make permanent decisions. You don't need to control the whole world. You don't need to have all the answers. You only need to take responsibility for what you allow to live inside your head. When you wake up and choose hope instead of helplessness, courage instead of comparison, you are already leading. When you pause before reacting, when you respond instead of explode, when you choose growth over comfort, that is leadership in its purest form. Your mind will test you on the days when things don't make sense, on the days when effort doesn't bring immediate results, on the days when silence feels heavier than noise. In those moments, self-leadership is the quiet decision to stay aligned with your values, not your moods. Because moods change, circumstances change, but the direction of your life depends on what you repeatedly choose to believe. I want you to remember this. Confidence is not loud. Strength is not always visible. Sometimes leadership looks like getting up again without applause. Sometimes it looks like being kind to yourself when the world is harsh. When you lead your mind, you stop being a prisoner of your past and start becoming the architect of your future. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? When your thoughts are disciplined, your actions become intentional. When your inner voice becomes supportive instead of critical, your steps become steady. You don't need to silence fear completely, you just need to stop letting it sit in the driver's seat. Fear can ride along, but it cannot decide where you are going. Life begins to change the moment you realize that leadership is not about control over others, but clarity within yourself. Lead your thoughts and your life will follow. So many people spend their lives waiting for approval, waiting for encouragement, waiting for someone to say, now you're ready, now you're allowed, now you're strong enough. But strength does not arrive with permission. Strength is born the moment you decide to stand up for yourself, even when no one is clapping, even when no one believes before you do. I have seen how easy it is to shrink when the world questions you, how quickly doubt grows when support is missing. Society teaches us silently and loudly to look outside ourselves for validation, to wait for the right title, the right moment, the right blessing. But while you wait, life keeps moving. And the truth is, no one is coming to hand you confidence. No one will knock on your door and give you courage. You build it by choosing yourself again and again. Waiting for permission is often disguised as patience, but deep down, it is fear wearing a polite mask. Fear of failing, fear of being judged, fear of standing alone. Yet every strong person you admire once stood in uncertainty, shaking but moving forward anyway. They did not wait until they felt fearless. They acted while fear was present. Strength grows when you stop explaining your dreams to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. It grows when you take responsibility for your healing instead of waiting for apologies that may never come. It grows when you decide that your past does not get to vote on your future. The moment you stop asking for approval is the moment your spine straightens and your voice finds its depth. You don't need perfect conditions to begin. You don't need unanimous support. You don't even need confidence. All you need is the willingness to take the next honest step. Strength is not a sudden transformation. It is a series of small, brave decisions made in private. It is choosing to keep going when quitting would be easier. It is choosing self-respect over self-pity. I want you to understand this deeply. Waiting delays your destiny. Every time you silence yourself to keep others comfortable, you postpone your growth. Every time you say one day instead of today, you hand your power away. You were never meant to live as a permission seeker. You were meant to live as a decision maker. When you stop waiting, you realize that strength was never missing. It was just unused. It was buried under hesitation and fear, under the need to be liked. But the moment you decide to act from truth instead of approval, something shifts inside you. Your walk changes. Your energy changes. You stop asking the world who you are and start showing it. Stop waiting. Stand up. Choose yourself. That decision is where your strength begins. Life does not train you in comfort. It trains you in resistance. And the moments you call struggle are often the very moments shaping your strength. Most people see hardship as a punishment, so nothing to escape, something to survive and forget. But when you begin to lead yourself, you understand that struggle is not sent to destroy you. It is sent to prepare you. Every challenge you face is asking something of you. It is asking you to grow patience where you were impulsive, courage where you were afraid, wisdom where you once reacted. Struggle exposes what still needs strengthening inside you. And instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Self-leadership asks, what is this building within me? Pain has a strange way of teaching lessons comfort never could. It teaches you boundaries. It teaches you resilience. It teaches you who stays, who leaves, and who you become when things fall apart. When life becomes difficult, you have two choices. You can let it harden you, or you can let it train you. One makes you bitter, the other makes you powerful. I know it's tempting to wish for an easier path, to believe that strength comes from smooth journeys and perfect timing, but strength is forged in repetition, in showing up when it hurts, in standing again after falling quietly. Every setback is practice. Every failure is feedback. Every tear carries information if you are brave enough to listen. When you treat struggle as a training ground, you stop wasting pain. You stop replaying it with resentment and start using it with intention. You ask better questions. You build deeper discipline. You develop empathy, not just for others, but for yourself. You learn that healing is not linear and growth does not announce itself loudly. Struggles also teach you self-trust. When you survive what you once thought would break you, something shifts inside. You stop underestimating yourself. You realize you are far more capable than fear ever admitted. And with every challenge faced head-on, your inner foundation becomes stronger, steadier, unshakable. This does not mean you enjoy the pain. It means you honor the process. You allow yourself to feel, but you refuse to stay stuck. You keep moving, even if the steps are small, even if the progress is invisible, because leadership is not about avoiding difficulty. It is about using difficulty to become wiser, calmer, and more grounded. One day, you will look back and realize that the moments you wanted to escape were the moments that shaped your character the most. The struggle did not take your power, it revealed it. And when you stop running from the fire and start learning in it, you emerge transformed. Your struggles are not your weakness. They are your training ground. People often think discipline is punishment. They imagine strict rules, pressure, and force. But discipline is not about being hard on yourself. It is about respecting yourself enough to keep the promises you make in silence. It is choosing what you want most over what you want now. And that choice, repeated daily, becomes self-leadership. Self-respect is not loud. It doesn't announce itself on good days. It shows up when motivation disappears. It shows up when no one is watching, when excuses feel reasonable, when comfort is calling you back to old habits. Discipline is the quiet voice that says, I will still show up even when emotions argue otherwise. Every time you honor your word to yourself, even in small ways, you build trust within. And when you break that trust repeatedly, confidence weakens. This is why discipline matters. Not because the world demands it, but because your soul needs consistency. You cannot expect to feel strong if your actions keep telling your mind that you cannot be relied on. Discipline is waking up and doing the work even when inspiration is absent. It is practicing patience when reactions feel easier. It is choosing growth when comfort tries to convince you to stay the same. And no, it is not glamorous. It is repetitive. It is sometimes boring, but it is powerful because discipline compounds. Small daily acts shape big destinies. You don't need to change your entire life overnight. That idea overwhelms and paralyzes. Discipline works in steps. One honest decision at a time. Drink the water, make the call, practice the skill, rest when needed, but don't quit. Discipline does not mean exhaustion, it means alignment. It means knowing when to push and when to pause without abandoning yourself. Many people wait to feel confident before they act, but confidence is built through action, not thought. Discipline creates confidence because it proves to you that you can be trusted. When you consistently do what you said you would do, your self-image changes. You stop doubting your strength. You stop negotiating with weakness. There will be days you fail. Discipline does not demand perfection. It demands return. Return to your path. Return to your values. Return to effort without self-judgment. Be firm with your goals, but gentle with your humanity. Self-respect grows when discipline is paired with compassion. Understand this clearly. The life you admire is built on routines you don't see, on choices made when no applause was present, on discipline practiced long before results appeared. What looks like talent from the outside is often commitment on the inside. When you choose discipline, you are choosing yourself. You are saying, I matter enough to stay consistent. And that decision, made daily, becomes the foundation of leadership. Discipline is not restriction, it is self-respect in action. Comfort is tempting. It feels safe, familiar, predictable. It asks nothing from you except that you stay where you are. And for a while, comfort feels like peace. But deep down, you know the difference. Peace expands you. Comfort slowly shrinks you. Purpose, on the other hand, challenges you. It pulls you forward. Even when your legs are tired and your heart is unsure. Many people confuse comfort with happiness. They avoid difficult conversations, delay bold decisions, and settle for less because it feels easier in the moment. But comfort never asks who you are becoming. Purpose does. Purpose asks you to grow into the person your future requires, not the person your fear prefers. Choosing purpose means you will often feel uncomfortable. You will outgrow rooms. You will disappoint people who benefited from your silence. You will have to let go of habits that once soothed you but no longer serve you. And yes, it will be hard. But discomfort is not a sign that you are failing. It is often a sign that you are evolving. Purpose gives meaning to effort. It gives direction to discipline. When you know why you are doing something, you can endure almost anyhow. Comfort avoids pain, but purpose transforms it. Comfort asks, what feels good right now? Purpose asks, what will matter in the long run? There will be days when choosing purpose feels lonely. Whoa. When the old path calls you back with promises of ease, when growth feels heavier than staying the same. In those moments, remember this. Comfort keeps you entertained, but purpose keeps you alive. It gives your struggles context and your sacrifices value. Purpose does not mean constant struggle. It means intentional living. It means making decisions that align with your values, even when they cost you convenience. It means saying no to what drains you so you can say yes to what fulfills you. Purpose-led people don't have easier lives. They have clearer ones. When you live for purpose, you stop chasing approval and start honoring truth. You stop measuring success by how comfortable you feel and start measuring it by how aligned you are. You may move slower, but you move with meaning, and meaning sustains you when motivation fades. Comfort will always be available. Purpose must be chosen every day, in small decisions and quiet moments, in how you spend your time, where you place your energy, and what you tolerate. You don't find purpose by waiting for clarity. You find it by moving with intention. One day comfort will ask you to stay. Purpose will ask you to rise. Choose wisely. Choose purpose over comfort. At some point in life, we all look outward, searching for someone to show us the way, someone strong enough to reassure us, brave enough to inspire us, real enough to understand our pain. We wait for mentors, heroes, and signs that tell us it's possible. But there comes a powerful moment of awakening when you realize the person you were waiting for is meant to be you. Becoming the example doesn't happen overnight. It begins quietly with the choices you make when no one is watching. It begins when you decide to live your values instead of just talking about them. When your actions start aligning with your words. When you choose integrity even when shortcuts are available. This is how leadership becomes visible, not through speeches, but through consistency. You don't need to be perfect to be an example. You just need to be honest. Honest about your struggles. Honest about your growth. Honest about your effort. People don't connect with perfection, they connect with courage. They are inspired by someone who falls, gets back up, and keeps moving without bitterness. Your resilience speaks louder than your success ever will. When you heal yourself, you heal generations. When you choose courage, you give others permission to do the same. You may never know who is watching you quietly, drawing strength from how you handle pressure, loss, or uncertainty. Your discipline, your boundaries, your kindness in difficult moments all leave footprints. Becoming the example means taking responsibility for your energy. It means choosing calm over chaos, wisdom over reaction, and purpose over ego. It means doing the inner work even when there is no immediate reward. Because leadership is not about being seen, it is about being steady. There will be moments when you doubt yourself, when you feel unqualified or tired. Remember, the example you become is not built in comfort, it is built in moments of decision, in moments where you choose growth instead of excuses, where you choose patience instead of anger, where you choose to rise instead of blame. The world does not need more perfect people. It needs more people who are real, grounded, and brave enough to lead themselves first. When you embody what you once searched for, your life becomes a message. You inspire without preaching. You lead without demanding attention. Your presence becomes proof. Stop waiting to be saved. Stop waiting to be led. The strength, wisdom, and courage you admire are already within you, waiting to be practiced. When you live what you believe, you become the hope you were once looking for.